Hey you! I hope you're doing really well. Today I wanted to announce that instead of celebrating just one day, Canada Day, I wanted to turn July into a month-long celebration of Canada because although we're not without our faults, I feel like Canada is a really great place to live, and I, for one, am very grateful to live here. There are all sorts of things going on in the world right now, and I know that things aren't perfect here, but I feel really lucky that I get to live in a place like Canada. It's, for the most part, really great. So in honor of all that, I decided that I want to do a month where I just recommend you Canadian things, and that'll mostly be movies, TV shows, and music. So to start off today, I want to recommend you some Canadian music. These will all be bands and musicians that I personally listen to. Some I listen to more than others, but they are all artists who make music that I enjoy. Now, some of these will be people that you've already heard of, some of them you might not have heard of, and there are probably going to be some artists who you're like, how could you not include this person? Like, why wouldn't you include this person? And, well, I'm a human being, and I don't necessarily like all of the things that are popular, but of course, you do you, and if you think I missed out on anyone, or I left anyone out that you think deserves to be in this video, feel free to leave a comment down below and let other people know. If I talk about each of these individually, this video might end up being like an hour long, so I'm gonna mention a few, talk about a few, and then I will put links to other people that I recommend in the description below. I will leave links down below to either my favorite songs from these different artists and bands, or to their most recent hit, just to make it easier for you to find them and be able to listen to their great music. I'm also going to list right over here where each of these bands and artists are from in Canada, just in case anyone's interested in knowing. So without further ado, this is my list of Canadian music that I think maybe you should give a try. I have my handy dandy notebook here. It's all highlighted and pretty. Highlighted? Highlight? Don't know. And this is split up by genre. Let's start off with probably my favorite genre, which is pop/punk. The first band I want to mention is Simple Plan. They are one of my favorite bands. They have been since elementary school, and they are just so awesome. I've always found that they produce really fun music, but at the same time they're also really good at making deep and emotional music that really hits a chord with you, or with me anyway. I have seen them live not once, not twice, but 3 times, and every time was wonderful. They're like so good at performing. They put on such a great show, and I would gladly go and see them again. So basically, I can't say enough good things about Simple Plan. Next up is Marianas Trench. And yes, it is named for the deepest part of the world's oceans. Marianas Trench is another one of my favorite bands. They have changed a lot over time. The music that they released at first was kind of more hard rock / more punk. And as they've evolved, they've kind of gotten more poppy. I personally really like how they've evolved. They have a beautiful sound. And the thing with Marianas Trench is that all 4 of them can sing really well. So when they do harmonies, it's just beautiful. Now, let's move into pop rock. Let's talk about Shawn Mendes, guys. Guy has a gorgeous voice, okay? Now, I don't know how popular he is in other places. I don't know how popular any of these musicians are in other places, but he is blown up here. I'm pretty sure he blew up in the USA as well. And rightfully so, I think. The music he makes is beautiful. What was that? I also want to mention, wait for it, Nickelback. That's right, I said it. I don't understand why everybody hates on Nickelback so much. It's like it's become the popular thing to do. It's just, whether or not you've listened to Nickelback, oh, Nickelback sucks. I don't get it. I personally like their music. They do a mixture of pop /rock /hard rock. I wouldn't necessarily say that I like all of their songs, but I do in general like their music. I think they make good music. Now let's talk about jazz /pop /rock. I think by now most people, or at least most people who have access to sort of first world media, know who Michael Bublé is. And he has a beautiful voice. I wanted to mention that someone who sort of does similar music and also has a beautiful voice, but doesn't get nearly as much press as Michael Bublé, is Dusk. And not only does he make really nice music, but I also think that he seems like a really nice person as well. My family and I went to a free concert in a shopping mall courtyard a few years ago, and it was one of those events where you can roam around as you please, but you can also be sitting down. So we were sitting down for most of it, but I decided that I wanted to get a better picture, a closer picture. So I sort of like ran up to the front of the stage to try and get a better picture, and I was trying to like be respectful of all the other people behind me, not get in anyone's way. So I'm standing there with my little Nokia flip phone, trying to subtly take a picture. Well, not subtly, but without interrupting other people. And then he notices and stops and poses for me, like all cool. So I just thought that was really nice. That was a nice gesture, and not something that he had to do. So it was nice. And at that Matt Dusk concert, the opener was Jill Barber. She's someone I had not heard of before, but I kind of fell in love with her music because it's just such a nice sound. The final genre I want to mention is alternative/indie rock. I will mention more genres down in the description below, so be sure to check that out too. The first indie/alternative rock band that I want to mention is Barenaked Ladies. You've probably heard that song, If I Had $1 Million, and that's them. The Barenaked Ladies are another band that really likes to have fun. They have such fun and funny lyrics, and basically just go give them a listen. They're really great. I also want to mention Sum 41. This is a band that some people may not even know is Canadian. I, in fact, did not know until very recently. But I love a lot of their songs, so I wanted to mention them. They're quite a big mix of indie/alt rock, pop punk, and also hard rock. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will give some of these artists a listen, if not all of them. And I hope I was able to recommend you some bands and artists that you hadn't heard of before. This is by no means an exhaustive list, so I encourage you, if you find a band that you like or a musician that you like, then do some research and you can easily find some other bands, Canadian bands, that you'll probably love as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in for the rest of Canada Month, where I'll be recommending Canadian TV shows and movies. Bye bye!